Good morning, 3 past 6 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, the KEEL app, a free download. And Erin here with local news, just seconds away.
2 late-night murders in Shreveport. We'll have details on that. Record-breaking heat, and it's going to continue. And we'll line out the field for the Shreveport mayor's race.
Ask me, and I mention this because I think I have yet to recover. Ask me who had a 1 o'clock tea time on Friday afternoon.
Oh, my God.
My thoughts exactly in retrospect.
What a moron.
And if Tiger Woods had Matt Parker as his caddy, you know what they'd be calling him this morning?
Winner?
Champion golfer.
Oh, boy.
Fletcher Sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
Hour of information. KEEL News now.
SPD investigating 2 late-night murders. Matt Parker has details.
2 men were shot and killed Sunday night in Shreveport within a half hour of each other. The first shooting happened just after 9 p.m. at the Aspen apartment complex on Baird Road. Investigators have taken a female into custody for questioning, but so far, no charges have been filed. Then about a half hour later, another man was shot and killed in the 3000 block of Gordenia Drive. A man there was shot in the chest and died from his wounds. Police say there is no connection between the 2 killings. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Record-breaking heat over the weekend. Shreveport had one of its hottest days in history Sunday. According to the National Weather Service, we climbed to 108, making it the hottest day ever in the month of July. The all-time high is 110, which was set in August of 1909. However, according to reports, we may have a chance to break that record, as temps are expected to be near or above record levels for the next few days. The field is set for Shreveport's mayoral race. 10 candidates are in the hunt. Incumbent Ollie Tyler will be running against the likes of Stephen Jackson, Adrian Perkins, Leo Savage, Jim Talaferro, and others. The general election is November 6th. If necessary, the runoff will happen December 8th. Louisiana, one of the 5 most vulnerable states, in a report regarding weak voting security. The study says paperless voting machines are dangerous, but Interim Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin says the claims just don't hold water.
They believe paper ballots are the better system. I think that's just a highly partisan charged report. We've had multiple elections since 2016, and we've had 0 problems.
He says the Secretary of State's office takes painstaking measures to keep election ballots accurate. Dozens of Ritz cracker products recalled due to a possible salmonella contamination. The products contain whey powder that's been recalled by the company's supplier due to the presence of salmonella. The tax deal struck by lawmakers and the governor to balance the budget will end Louisiana's state sales tax holidays for 7 years, when lawmakers renewed 0.45% of an expiring 1% state sales tax. They also reworked the sales tax breaks. A new study from the Pennington Biomedical Center shows video games that require physical activity can improve health in children with obesity. The study involved 46 youngsters. Lead researcher Dr. Amanda Staiano explains the results.
We gave kids active video games to play, and we found that the kids who played these games actually lost weight and improved their cholesterol and blood pressure and increased their physical activity.
She says there's much to take away from the results of this study. A bell at a Branson, Missouri chapel chimed 17 times in remembrance of the victims killed in a boat accident. Hundreds in the tourist community, along with survivors of the tragedy and friends and family members, attended a memorial service last night. Uber suspends a driver who recorded hundreds of passengers without their permission. What's more, the driver actually live-streamed the video from his car. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, 9 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic time for Monday. Ruben's here.
Starting things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on North Market near North Hearn Avenue. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. That KEEL app always is a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, Matt Parker. This guy, more on this later. But I'm telling you, if Tiger Woods had had Matt as his caddy yesterday, he'd be the champion this morning.
He'd be the winner.
He'd be the champion golfer, as they refer to the British
what happened
Open.
to old T. Woods?
He got into the lead, and then he made a double bogey and a bogey.
It was his caddy's fault?
If Matt had been there, Tiger wouldn't have made those scores.
I would have driven him to greatness.
Tiger's caddy is a guy named Joe LaCava, who is one of the best caddies of all time.
Okay.
I'm not blaming his caddy. What I'm saying is Matt somehow milks from us a maximum effort every single day.
It's true.
And
It's
takes
true.
us to a level through his
I see where
subtle.
you're going.
Takes us to a level through his subtle
He'd
yet
have been
effective.
screaming at Tiger, "You moron!"
His subtle yet effective prodding.
Yeah.
Subtle yet effective prodding.
What are you doing, you idiot?
To get the best out of us, to cull
Yeah.
from us a performance on a daily basis that we didn't think we had in us.
I like to call it clubbing you over the head with greatness, but, you know.
Oh.
So how are you?
I'm sore today.
You're a wreck.
I'm sore today.
Your spine is like your spine, based on your description yesterday on the phone. Your spine is basically Lawrence Welk's accordion.
How can you do that by bumping a deer? I bumped a deer.
How did you do it getting a pedicure? I mean, there's
Yeah, how
some
did you throw your
mystery.
back up getting a pedicure?
That's one thing Jason said. He said, "Was it another pedicure?" When I walked, I said, "No, I hit a deer." And I said, "I got a deer." He's like, "You hurt your back shooting a deer?" I said, "No, Jason, I hit a deer with my car."
Must have been some recoil.
But I do have good news. This is big news today. I don't know if we have big news music or whatever.
Is this?
That's big news music.
What
Yeah,
the hell?
I don't know.
I got married.
What?
I told you we need big news music. I know this comes as a surprise to you. Look
You're-
at your
you're-
jaw.
No, you're no.
I did.
No, because I used you as an example last night and I said,
Well, you haven't asked me his name.
I said McCarty will get married before someone in question.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, no, McCarty will get married
Well, I
before
did
that
this
guy."
weekend. I married a guy named Salt. First name Epson. I was soaking in him all weekend.
Yeah. Not the first man you've soaked.
Oh!
But the other ones are tied up in a trailer somewhere.
Yeah, making meth.
If not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to.
So what did you find out about your spinal
My
condition
neck,
based on hitting this deer who got up, dusted off his deer pants, and wandered away?
And laughed. My neck is curved like a mini C to the left, about 20 degrees. It's supposed to be straight like an eye. I've got a little curve to the left.
How did this happen?
Well, here's what Jason told me. He said, you took a hard left turn.
Trying to avoid the deer.
Yeah. And then when you
Now,
did that.
how fast were you? About 60?
55,
Okay.
60, I don't know. The speed limit. I wasn't
Well
speeding.
within the limit.
Yeah, I wasn't speeding. A hard jerk of the car to the left, and then looked back to the right as you're hitting the deer with the right corner of your car. He said, and at that moment, your nerves, they seize up, and that caused the spine to
Lord,
lock.
you're lucky you weren't beheaded there, Marie Antoinette.
I know. And then the lower back also locked up in kind of a weird position, so it's off just a smidge.
Which is basically why you're doing the Quasimodo walk this morning.
It's the weirdest thing. When I actually sit in a chair, the moment I sit, it's like I'm being sawed with a saw across the bottom of my back.
Ta-da.
But when I get seated, I'm okay. The pain is instant for a moment, then it goes away.
No matter how slowly you lower yourself into the
Exactly.
chair, and trust me, on a daily basis, you can't imagine, even when she's healthy, how slowly this woman
Oh.
lowers herself into the chair.
I'm a slow lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Slow lower.
But it's hurting today because we had an adjustment. We actually did an adjustment on Sunday as well. So it's
Thought that was a 4 on the Richter scale.
It is, and I can't get in a right position to sleep. You know, I've tried the reclining
Did you try the chair like I told you?
I tried that. It
Did that
didn't
help?
work. It didn't
Yeah.
work. I got the pillows at an incline on the bed.
Is anything worse than that? No.
But I went to sleep about when did I send you everything? I went to sleep about 2:30 and slept till about 4:30. So I've got about 2 solid hours today.
Well, you'll probably get so tired that it won't matter how uncomfortable it is. You'll just pass
right.
out.
And you know me. I'm not a big drug taker person, so I haven't had any pain meds, and I'm going to try not to. I may take an aspirin or two, but I'm not. I'm going to try to struggle through and drink my lemonade and my coffee.
Struggle through.
Anybody got any Baileys we can throw in this coffee this morning?
You know what we need? Like one of those medieval torture racks. Just tie her down, stretch her out during the show.
14th century chiropractic.
Yeah.
But the damage to the car, I was shocked.
It's like
Matt, you won't guess. Matt will never guess how much.
Especially having seen it, because
it looks like a little bump.
It looks like somebody maybe hit it once with a baseball bat.
Yeah,
on the headlight.
And knocked the headlight out. Yeah.
Using modern vehicles, because everything is like, once it's got a dent, it's got to be replaced. So let's see, you got the hood, the front. I'm gonna go with $2,500.
Almost $4,000. Almost $4,000. I got the estimate in the.
How many
email.
times do we talk about health care?
Unbelievable.
How many times do we talk about education? The same's true for auto insurance. You're not the customer.
Yeah.
You're not the customer. The insurance company is the seller.
Right.
And the dealer or whoever's doing the work is the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
You're just this nebulous. You're just the check writer.
Yeah, and I was real clear with my insurer. I want Yoakum to do the car. They do good work. They have a great body shop. I love their work. And so I said that's where I want to take it, and they'll put the right parts on. It's going to be a week or two. I don't know, but in the meantime, I got a soccer mom band.
Listen to this.
Isn't that thing hot?
Have you ever seen? I know you have. Who's seen the Travolta movie Get Shorty? And in it, John Travolta plays a mobster, a Shylock. Pardon me, a mob bill collector named Shorty Palmer, a Chili Palmer, and he flies to Los Angeles at the beginning of the movie. And he lands at the airport, and he goes to the car rental, and he says, "I'm Chili Palmer. I've got a car rental reservation." And they bring around this van, this family van. And he says, "I think there's some mistake.
Yeah.
I had reserved a Cadillac." And the lady at the counter says, "Well, sir, this is the Cadillac of minivans."
Oh, boy.
Erin McCarty driving the Ferrari.
It's a nice minivan.
The Lamborghini.
Man.
The Aston Martin of minivans.
Yeah.
There is crisis in this building. There is crisis in this building.
Really?
And when we come back, I'll tell you what it is.
Ooh.
You're not at the epicenter, but you do know about it. You have been contacted.
Okay.
You were unable to help. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Rubens here. Traffic time.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Benton Road, just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
One 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Sports time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Francesco Molinari became the first Italian to win a major championship with his British Open victory Sunday. While the gaggle of golfers at the top of the leaderboard chunked and chopped their way down, Molinari turned in a bogey-free round to win by 2 shots over Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Kevin Kisner, and Xander Schauffele. Tiger Woods, playing with Molinari, had a 1-shot lead on the 11th tee, but double bogeyed the hole and followed with a bogey on 12. He finished 5 under par in a tie for 6th. The Angels avoided a sweep with a 14-5 win over the first-place Astros Sunday. Houston drew first blood, but their 1-zip second-inning lead was just a blip on the radar. The Angels scored in every inning but the first and fifth, exploding for 7 runs in the seventh to erase any hope for a Houston comeback. Texas beat the Heat and Cleveland Sunday in Arlington, playing on an afternoon when the mercury reached 108 degrees. The Rangers got 3 RBI from Rougned Odor and a 2-run homer from Ryan Rua in a 5-0 win. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
24 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. This building in a state of crisis this morning.
What is going on?
Because I guess I heard this from Fletcher and a couple other people.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the room down the hall
We're going to have to fix this.
that has the Coke machine and the candy machine.
Yeah, and
the
chips.
cracker machine.
Honey buns.
And all all that stuff. Yeah, the door's closed and it's locked.
And my key didn't work.
And
I've always had a key that opens every door.
And nobody in the building has it's what we in house call a B, like the letter B for Bob.
I've always had a B key.
What we call a B key, which opens everything. And at one point, all the department heads, of which you are one, you had a B key and could get into everything.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line,
they changed the locks.
You
They
don't
gave out
have
a few
one.
B keys. I still have a B key. It opens some.
Bristol doesn't
but
have
not all.
Nobody has one.
Hey, you got to protect the important stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
Although I can get in there. Sledgehammer and a screwdriver, baby. We're in.
Yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned that, and I may have told the story on the radio. I think I did. And Matt heard me telling Rogers in the hall. When I was working in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the late 1980s, the radio station was in a big office building, and we were on the 13th floor. And like a lot of office buildings, you get off the elevator, there's a foyer, a vestibule, like a 12 by 16 foot room,
right?
And all the offices are off of this main lobby area on every floor. There is no bathroom in the specific offices. The lobby, the bathroom for the floor is in the lobby.
Okay.
So there's no bathroom in the radio station.
Right.
You walk out, you go back. So it's a Saturday, and this is back in the 1980s. Understand, there's a disc jockey for every day part. You're pushing buttons, you're talking, there's CDs or cartridges or whatever.
Sure.
And the weekend guy, his name was Jay Kazamesnes from
Him, yeah.
Well,
got him.
actually, because it was Western Michigan and everybody's Dutch, it was Van Kazamesnes.
Yeah, right.
The point being, he's got to pee.
Oh,
So
boy.
he leaves the studio, walks out the front door, forgets to put a little wedge in the door or to flip the lock,
Oh, no.
goes to the bathroom, and locks himself out of the radio station.
Oh, no.
Understand, he comes back, realizes he's locked himself out. Remember, it's 1988. You need a disc jockey to push every button every time an element changes.
Or you're going to get whoop, whoop,
Song
whoop,
to song, song to jingle, commercial. Everything's got to be hit by hand. It's all manual. So he thinks, what am I going to do for about a minute or two? Then picks up a fire extinguisher. Have I told you this before?
No.
Picks up a fire extinguisher and throws it through the glass door of the radio station.
Oh, my.
Climbs through the broken glass, goes to the studio without missing a song, without missing a commercial, hits the next song, calls the PD, and tells him what happened. They have a meeting on Monday. The general manager is freaked out. He's livid. He said he's going to pay for this. The program director says, his name was Jim, the program director says, no, take the cost of a new door out of my programming budget. That's the kind of guy I want on my radio station.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Because how many dollars would they have missed if the commercials had missed?
So the point I'm making is if somebody taking Matt's lead gets a sledgehammer or does a running kung fu dropkick and knocks that door in, I'm just thinking somebody here's going to understand.
Yeah, they might.
29 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL local news next. Right now, traffic update. Ruben's ready.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Benton Road, just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, partly sunny, heating up to 100 today, and tonight, patchy clouds and a low 74. It'll be partly to mostly sunny with upper 90s tomorrow and Wednesday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Some record-breaking heat this weekend. We get details from Matt Parker.
Shreveport had one of its hottest days in history Sunday. According to the National Weather Service, temps reached 108 Sunday afternoon, making it the hottest day ever in the month of July. The all-time high is 110, which was set in August of 1909. However, according to reports, we may have a chance to break that record as temps are expected to be near or above record levels for the next few days. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
2 men were shot and killed Sunday night in Shreveport within a half hour of each other. The first shooting happened just after 9 p.m. at the Aspen Apartments on Baird Road. Investigators have taken a female into custody for questioning, but so far no charges. Then about a half hour later, another man was shot and killed at a home on Gardonia Drive. A man there was shot in the chest and died from his wounds. Police say there is no connection between the two killings. A man shot 14 people in Toronto's Greektown neighborhood late last night, leaving a woman dead. Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders said the safety of those at the crime scene is the most important thing right now.
We want and welcome the arm's-length investigation to be looked at and to be reviewed, and we'll take every precaution to maintain the integrity of all the evidence that they're going to need. But right now, the public safety of the men and women that are here at the crime scene are the paramount most concern at this particular point.
The suspected shooter is dead. The victims of the deadly boat accident on a Missouri lake remembered at a memorial church service near Branson. Branson Mayor Karen Best getting choked up as she addressed those in the crowd.
And you will always remain in our hearts. We love you, and God bless.
The accident happened as winds rapidly kicked up to near hurricane strength, capsizing the duck boat on Table Rock Lake. It left 17 people dead. When qualifying wrapped up Friday, there were 10 candidates registered and ready to run in Shreveport's mayoral race. Incumbent Mayor Ollie Tyler will be running against the likes of Stephen Jackson, Adrian Perkins, Leo Savage, Jim Talaferro, and others. Now, the general election is November 6th, the runoff December 8th. A woman says her cousin's violent rampage through Los Angeles, which killed a supermarket employee, started when he shot their grandmother in a domestic dispute. 28-year-old Gene Atkins was booked on suspicion of murder Sunday, a day after police say he wounded his grandmother and led them on a chase. The recall of a popular snack food underway. Tom Graham explains.
Ritz Crackers is recalling several of its products over salmonella fears. Parent company Mondali's Global says it affects 16 varieties of Ritz Cracker sandwiches and Ritz Bits. The voluntary recall is underway because the whey powder supplier used to make the snacks is concerned about the potential presence of salmonella. The good news, there have been no reports of illness. Symptoms of salmonella include fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Tom Graham, Fox News.
Tops at the box office this weekend, The Equalizer just beat out the new Mamma Mia movie. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. If you are, I was going to say, if you are troubled by troubling news, that's kind of a weird way of phrasing it, and I could have done better. But if this is the kind of, if these are the kinds of stories that upset you, go away for 5 minutes.
Right.
What's the latest? First of all, what is, Parky, you might know, explain to everybody what exactly a duck boat is. My sense was, is it like a plywood party barge? Because it certainly, and what were they doing out on a lake?
Imagine taking those double-decker buses like you see in London. Don't have a double-decker, but you put a top on it. And everybody's sitting on the boat, and it goes through the water, and they tell you a story, and they talk about the area.
It's a World War II watercraft that was also, they call it amphibious machines because you can drive them on the road straight down the water.
Right at the beginning of Private Ryan, I mean, like that?
It's kind of like those, except it has a top on it. And that's the problem. The top,
my question isn't,
people can't escape.
So my question, is it enclosed?
It's not totally enclosed, but you have a roof on you. So you know, as the windows go under, you can't swim up. If you didn't climb out the window, there's no way to get up on, it's real. What a tragedy.
So what was this boat that so easily topples doing on a lake when there's 60-mile-an-hour winds? Or how did it just come up? How far across how long a voyage not the right word. Were they on?
I'm not sure. They're typically about an hour trip. I mean, if you go to Hot Springs, the boat rides are about an hour or so. But they say that this storm whipped up very quickly. And I've been out on Cross Lake when it's sunshiny and pretty, and you're across the lake, and all of a sudden a storm blows in. You're like, oh man, we got to get off this lake.
A lot of areas have banned these duck boats from hitting the water because, this isn't the first time a tragedy like this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
One happened in, Portland a couple of years ago. I think there's one somewhere on the East Coast. So a lot of places have decommissioned these from being active.
And the other thing is there anything new? And I don't know if, was it Thursday or Friday? I guess it happened on Thursday on the baby story in Natchitoches. And this is the one that just this is incredible.
Matt, I'm not hugely familiar with it, but this is the baby that was kidnapped, I guess.
The kidnapping.
And then burned?
Pardon me. When first responders arrived, I didn't know this. When first responders arrived, they rescued the baby in the fire was still living.
Yes.
And they took it to the hospital where the baby eventually passed away. But the mother story is someone kidnapped my child and threw the baby in a fire. And I'm thinking, if that mom's story, now there's a lot of questions. I don't even want to go there because to impugn this mother's story at this point would be grossly unfair.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But if the mother's story is legit, it's like devil worship stuff.
That's awful.
I mean, that's as horrible a story as I've seen maybe ever.
This was, what, a 6-month-old baby?
Yeah.
Just right before its 7-month birthday type thing.
But there's nothing new. Investigation goes on.
They laid the baby to rest over the weekend. Investigation's ongoing. The only sort of update I saw was that, something like this happened in the same general area about 3 years ago. So they don't know if it's connected, if it's not connected. You had the story on
Friday when Erin was gone. The final autopsy results will be how long? I was surprised at how long it would be.
It may be a couple of months because
because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And you don't. God, this sounds awful. I'm sorry. I started to say you don't have a lot to work with. I mean, it sounded horrible to say that, and I apologize. 639, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Ruben's ready.
Start things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on North Market near North Hearn Avenue. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today. Partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.117 FM and 710 Keel. Saw the little wince right there.
Yeah, I have to get in the right position.
I beg your pardon?
I have to get in the right position.
Don't
Sorry.
we all? 641, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin. It was, what was the temp yesterday?
108, which is a record.
Okay, go back to last.
Our all-time record high is 110, and that was set in 1909 in August. But 108 is the hottest day we've ever had in a July.
It seems to me that even now, and I could be wrong. What year did my brother Bill move back from Seattle? Was it 2011 or 2012? 2000, when it was maybe 2008, when it was so hot, when we had that stretch of like 30-something straight days of 100 degrees, remember?
Yeah.
And it would, plus we didn't have any rain, and you would see a thunderstorm. You would see dark clouds approaching from the west.
Right.
And you'd be going, oh, thank God it's going to rain. And every day for about a month, you'd go, oh, it's going to rain. And the rain, the storm clouds would get to Wascom and dissipate, break up. Is this as hot as it was then? Evidently so.
It is very, very hot. In fact,
so give me the last few days temps.
Let me run them down. Yesterday was 108.
Okay.
Saturday was 106.
Right.
Friday was 104. Thursday 104. All are records.
So what was it on Friday?
Friday 104.
Was that the one I saw somebody on Facebook said, and that record, or was it Saturday? Where we hit the high temp for the day at 5 p.m.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it's almost 90 right now.
So what was it? Well, 78 is almost 90.
My car said 84.
Really?
Well, my rental car.
The Cadillac of minivans. So the temp on Friday was
104.
Okay, so I played golf at 1 o'clock on Friday.
Oh, my God. Are you nuts?
Physically, honestly, there's no difference between 95 and 105 when you're out there.
Oh, come on.
I drank 4 large bottles of water in 18 holes of golf.
Ooh.
And these are not like the 17s. These are like the 22s.
Yeah.
So I drank 4 of those, and when I was done, I didn't have to pee.
Man.
That's when you know it's hot.
And I'm 66.
You know it's hot.
And I'm 66.
Well, the city has opened up cooling stations at most of the local parks. You can see the list at keelnews.com. And they're going to have, air conditioning is on. They're going to have free bottles of water, place where people can get out of the heat. This is for folks who maybe their air's broken down.
Go to Mall St. Vincent. Sit in the courtyard.
You can do that, too, but you won't get free water. You can get free water at the city's parks.
They have water fountains, right?
Yeah.
They do have water fountains. You're right. And I don't know if you saw this. Saturday, Harrah's Louisiana Downs canceled their live racing card. Canceled the card completely because the heat was too hot for the horses to run in. I'm like, I don't remember that ever happening before. I'm sure it has, but I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty strong. That's hot.
So how about the next few days?
Still going to be triple digits today. Through tomorrow, it looks like, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think through Wednesday is when it, and then after that, things are going to start going down a bit.
Oh, but we're not even to August yet.
To the upper 90s.
Yeah, upper to mid 90s, so big cooling trend.
Yeah. But you know what everybody is talking about right now? Everybody I ran into over the last 3 days. My SWEPCO bill. My SWEPCO bill. Oh, my God.
You know what
Have
my
you
one
seen
was?
my
I
SWEPCO
just
bill?
got it. You know what it was for the last month? Is like $103 is all.
People say their bills are almost double.
Oh, yeah, mine is. Mine is almost up to my car payment level.
Wow. I'm scared to open mine because I auto pay it and SWEPCO owes me some money. I'm thinking now.
You may now, yeah.
We might be even.
See, here's what happened was that Erin's on this auto pay, and she just didn't use enough money to cover for heat or whatever to cover the auto pay.
I've been overpaying, yeah.
And so she basically, SWEPCO owes her about $2,500.
I think this is going to catch me up.
I think for the next 60 days,
I'm good.
You may be at the break-even point.
I hope.
This weekend, Friday was the last day for qualifying for Shreveport city races for the fall elections.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a surprise. There's going to be a late breaking. Something's going to happen, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened.
We had a couple of surprises, just none that amount to a hill of beans in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
So your theory that the mayor may do a last-second pullout when in reality she was the first one to qualify.
No, she wasn't. Leo Savage was first, followed
Really?
by Adrian Perkins.
Okay.
And then I think she was next, possibly.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But there is a mayoral forum tomorrow. I think it's going to be happening on Lake Street downtown. I'll get you more details on that.
Anything late breaking force?
Anna Marie Orpino qualified, which she was in the race last time, and we hadn't heard that she was going to run again, but she's in the race.
Did our friend Stephanie Lynch, did she qualify at the last minute?
Stephanie did qualify.
When she was here last week, she said, I haven't qualified yet. You said you've got one day.
Mm-hmm.
You said you've got 24 hours. She says, I like to wait till the last minute.
She did.
I like to
She
size up the field.
Sent me a photo. The only city council member unopposed is Jerry Bowman, as expected. So he'll be reelected, and he can go out and do
you know
what
off the top of your head which one has the most? I know my district, the Michael Corbin district, has a whole lot of people.
B and D are the one. D is yours, and I think that's the one with the most. B's got a herd. B is going to be a humdinger.
B has a herd. Whose is that one now?
That is Everson, Jeff Everson, and that's got a whole host of folks.
So just to review, who's termed out? Oliver Jenkins.
Yep.
Michael Corbin.
And Jeff Everson.
Jeff Everson.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only three.
Yeah, Bowman is now reelected, so he'll get another term. You'll have three races. You're going to have, and Rose McCullough qualified in Willie Bradford's district up in the MLK area, and
that name rings a bell.
She used to be on the council, and he unseated her, I think. And I may have it all wrong, but she's running to get back on the council.
And he has not really answered the question why he at first said, I'm not going to run again.
Right.
Then after a week of saying, I'll be on the sidelines, said,
Mm-hmm.
I have reconsidered. He has... He sort of avoided interviews.
Well, we could call and ask him, but it's just going to be
It's one question.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We don't do a lot of 90-second interviews. Perhaps we should.
I am working on getting your buddy Greg Tarver in here this week.
That would be awesome.
To talk about the mayor's race, to see if he's got a horse in the race.
He said, his quote to us after the separation, no, it was more like a divorce, from Adrian Perkins. He said, I won't have anything to say until after qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? It's Monday.
Yep.
Time to speak up.
You bet.
649, 1017 FM. Slur that a little bit?
Yeah.
It's like my back is hurting. I'm trans-channeling your pain.
Oh, hush.
I'm an empath. 649, Keel. Here's Ruben.
Start things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on North Market near North Hearn Avenue. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, partly sunny, heating up to 100 today, and tonight, patchy clouds and a low 74. It'll be partly to mostly sunny with upper 90s tomorrow and Wednesday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.652, Keel Sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Francesco Molinari became the first Italian to win a major championship with his British Open victory Sunday. While the gaggle of golfers at the top of the leaderboard chunked and chopped their way down, Molinari turned in a bogey-free round to win by 2 shots over Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Kevin Kistner, and Xander Schauffele. Tiger Woods, playing with Molinari, had a 1-shot lead on the 11th tee, but double bogeyed the hole and followed with a bogey on 12. He finished 5 under par in a tie for 6th. The Angels avoided a sweep with a 14-5 win over the first-place Astros Sunday. Houston drew first blood, but their 1-zip second-inning lead was just a blip on the radar. The Angels scored in every inning but the first and fifth, exploding for 7 runs in the 7th to erase any hope for a Houston comeback. Texas beat the Heat and Cleveland Sunday in Arlington, playing on an afternoon when the mercury reached 108 degrees. The Rangers got 3 RBI from Rougned Odor and a 2-run homer from Ryan Rua in a 5-0 win. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Coming up just after 7 o'clock. Some people don't watch the news anymore because it makes them too mad.
It's depressing sometimes.
So we'll talk about that. And I mentioned that for a reason for right now. I've got a headline here, and we'll cover this after 7 o'clock also. The headline is Democratic Socialism, i.e. socialism, surging in the age of Trump. Democratic socialism surging in the age of Trump. That is taking two disparate things, and that is like saying the crime rate in Shreveport has gone up since your son got out of the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's true.
Right.
They're not really connected, but on the surface, that's a true statement.
It's an accurate statement,
Since
yes.
your son got home from the Marines,
Mm-hmm.
the Shreveport crime rate is up.
Yep.
Can't deny it. The numbers unequivocally will tell you, since he got home, the numbers have skyrocketed.
So he's to blame.
It just doesn't have one.
They're having a big news conference tomorrow about crime rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chief is going to unveil some numbers that they wouldn't be doing it if it didn't look good.
Your son going to be there?
No, hush.
In the front row. Must be the front row. 6:56. Here's Rush on Keel.
Some of you will remember what happened in 2013 when Los Angeles educators decided to hand out taxpayer-funded iPads, supposedly to help low-income students. The iPad program cost over $1 billion, and guess what happened next? Large numbers of iPads soon went missing or were reported stolen. Teachers were never properly trained on how to use them. Many didn't see the need for them. Internet access in the schools was spotty. The iPad for Poor Kids program ended up as a total disaster. Even the Los Angeles Times called it ill-conceived and half-baked. Well, now New York State is about to embark on a new program. They're going to give free tablets to all of their inmates in prison. Supposedly, these tablets will not be able to connect to the internet all the time. There will be controlled access so that prison inmates can email loved ones to help them stay in touch. And they'll be allowed to purchase ebooks, videos, and other entertainment. Yes. Now, anybody with a brain can predict where this is going. Before it happens, you put this kind of technology in the hands of criminals in prisons already overrun by gangs and all sorts of deadly miscreants, it's not going to end well. We haven't even talked about pornography yet. But when liberals fail at something, folks, they never learn the lesson. They double down and they fail up and keep failing up until they get to the top of the failure ladder.
Hey guys, remember when you were 18 with boundless energy and the stamina to do just about anything? Don't you wish you could regain that youthful vitality of your teenage years? If you're feeling tired, out of shape, and you don't perform in the bedroom like you used to, now there's a phenomenal solution that works without a prescription. Noxitril is the explosive, all-natural male enhancement pill that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level that will give you the thumbs up every time. Noxitril will give you the confidence to know that when that intimate moment is here, you'll be ready to go. It's shipped discreetly to your door, and it's guaranteed, so there's nothing to lose. So why not call us now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril? It will definitely be the best call you make all year.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-605-1673. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-605-1673. That's 800-605-1673.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on North Market near North Common Street, and we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near McDade Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today. Partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning. It's 7:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Don't forget about the KEEL app, a free download. Erin is back today. Local news is next.
2 more murders in Shreveport. We'll talk more about that. This record heat has people staying inside and turning the AC down low. And the mayoral race is off and running.
You know what we need to do? I got an idea. Remind me, we're going to play a little thermostat game.
Okay.
Play a little thermostat game. There's a lock on ours.
Oh,
Believe
no
me,
kidding.
You could get to Fort Knox's gold more easily than you can get to the town square thermostat.
Well, I'm finna go get a crowbar out.
And people who won't watch the news. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Shreveport had one of its hottest days in history Sunday. We climbed to 108. The old record was 104 for that day, but in fact, 108, the hottest day ever for the month of July. The all-time record high is 110, which we set in August of 1909. We could see more numbers going down today, as we're expected to climb over 100 again. 2 men shot and killed Sunday night in Shreveport within a half hour of each other. The first happened just after 9 at the Aspen Apartments on Baird Road. Investigators did take a female into custody for questioning, but so far no charges filed. Then about a half hour later, a man was shot and killed on Gordonia Drive. He was shot in the chest and died from his wounds. Police say there's no connection between the 2 murders. The field is set for Shreveport's mayoral race. Matt Parker with the latest.
When qualifying wrapped up Friday afternoon, there were 10 candidates registered and ready to run in Shreveport's mayoral race. Incumbent Mayor Ollie Tyler will be running against the likes of Stephen Jackson, Adrian Perkins, Leo Savage, Jim Talaferro, and others. The general election will take place November 6th. If necessary, the runoff will take place December 8th. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
More election news. Louisiana ranked among the 5 most vulnerable states in a report regarding weak voting security. That report released by Democrats. Interim Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin says the Secretary of State's office takes painstaking measures to keep our election ballots accurate.
We have over 10,000 machines across the state. They're in warehouses that are locked. The machines are tested prior to each election. No outside entity touches the machines.
Secretary of State's office is seeking money to replace the 10,000 paperless voting machines. Survivors of the Missouri duck boat accident and many friends and family members have joined hundreds in the tourist community in Branson during a memorial service last night for the 17 who died. House Majority Whip Steve Scalise appeared on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures to discuss the GOP's approach to the coming midterm elections, and he scoffed at the proposal floated by some Democrats to abolish immigration, customs, and enforcement.
ICE has been directly responsible for stopping human trafficking, stopping and saving some of these kids that are being exploited from human trafficking, and they want to get rid of them. They want open borders. That's not what this country is all about. I hope they keep going around and letting people know that's what they would do if they were in the majority.
The Abolish ICE campaign gained steam when the now reversed government policy of separating migrant children from their families came to public attention. A new study from the Pennington Biomedical Center shows video games that require physical activity can improve health in children with obesity. Researcher Dr. Amanda Stiano says that they were asked to complete 3 one-hour gaming sessions each week and had access to a fitness coach. She says after 6 months, the kids reduced their body mass index by about 3% and reduced their cholesterol by 7 percentage points.
I expected that if they would do this physical activity using video games, that they would see the same health improvements, and that's what we found.
She says there's much to take away from the results of this study. As viewers of certain reality TV shows can tell you, you never quite know what you'll get when you buy the contents of a storage locker, and a New Jersey art dealer got quite a bargain. He bought the contents of a locker in New Jersey for $15 grand. Some of the paintings he found inside are worth millions. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Ten past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Time for traffic.
The intersection at Uri Drive and East Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today. Partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Good morning, 12 past 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin. Robert J. Wright. Yay. Erin McCarty playing hurt. 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. On the 1 to 10 scale, like 10 is I'm trying to remember over our 22-year history of unsurpassed teamwork. When when you were at your worst, physically, not emotionally.
Yeah.
Boy, could we mess up.
Oh, man, we could spend 3 weeks on my emotional messes.
On each other. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
You spend 2 decades with somebody.
Yeah.
You see way more lows than highs.
Oh, definitely.
But I
physically hurt?
I would think when the first couple of days, because you took 1 day off for a gallbladder operation.
Yeah.
You took off Friday. You were feeling bad on Thursday, blah, blah, blah. And they scheduled it for Friday. And you had it on Friday, and you came back to work Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And you were pretty goofy. The times that you've had the flu in studio and you came to work, and you drank like NyQuil or PM or whatever, and you passed out on the radio.
Right, I've done that a few times.
The last 45 seconds to a minute before you went face down into the potato salad.
Yeah, thanks for putting it there, by the way.
Basically was pretty awesome. And then people came in and wrote on her.
Next time, make it mashed potatoes, please.
So those were interesting days.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think what else. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I haven't, knock on wood, I'm usually pretty healthy. I don't get colds very often. I don't get the flu. I get the flu shot every year.
All right.
I get every now and then I have back pain. But this little car mishap on Wednesday night last
fouled
week.
You up.
It has messed me up. I looked at the x-ray of my back.
Excuse me just a moment. Pardon me just a second.
He's over there laughing.
I see.
He's enjoying my pain.
I'm not enjoying your pain.
You know, what is it like in Night Before Christmas where what's his name described? A bowl full of jelly?
Yeah.
You know, when he's laughing, when Santa's laughing, you're over there like a bowl full of bones laughing. What is so so ticklish about her condition?
I just find it slightly amusing that she's so tore up after having the equivalent of a big wheel hitting a deer's shin type accident.
Well, you need to know the motion that happened.
Don't repeat.
I won't repeat. But I'm going 55 miles an hour. I see out of my periphery on my left side, the driver's side, I see something coming across the road.
On the passenger side.
It's coming from the driver's side, and it's crossing the road.
Really?
In front of me.
See, I thought it came from
No. Oh. And as it's crossing in front of me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to T-bone this thing. So I swerved as hard as I could. It would have been a good T-bone, wouldn't it? I'm sorry. I swerved as hard as I could.
Tying it on the front of the car may have been problematic.
Right. But instead of hitting it dead on with the front of my car, I slammed the car to the left as hard as I could.
Gotcha.
To go around the deer as he's continuing to bebop across the road. But I almost missed him, but I clipped him with the right front bumper. Well, in doing so, the abrupt shift to the left and then looking back to the right to see if I hit him, or as I hit him, that's when the neck locked up, and the car's got like $4,000 worth of damage.
I mean, it's a good car, but you don't have.
It looks like a little ding.
You got a good car, but it doesn't have a HON device.
No, it does not. No.
I just find it amazing that in this chain of events, you are more banged up and injured than the damn deer.
Yeah, the deer's
He's got
probably
a bruise.
He's smoking a cigar, laughing at me, going. Someone from Marshall, Texas. Please text us or call and let me know if that. I really want to know that he's alive. I really want to know that the deer's not laying on Highway 80.
I have seen
just east of Marshall.
I have seen NASCAR mishaps.
Yeah, I know. They bump the wall and they don't get.
Where the guy flips his vehicle at 220 miles an hour.
And he's good to go.
And it flies end over end.
Mm-hmm.
And lands on its roof. He crawls, and the first thing he does is lift his arm over his head, signaling to the crowd that I am injury-free.
Well, that's what I thought Wednesday night. I thought, I'm good. I'm fine. Thursday, I wake up and I come to work, and it was like, oh, wow, this is starting to hurt. And then Friday, I was like, I can't sleep. I can't get my neck right.
So what's the prognosis?
Got to go to the Dr. Jason.
Body cast. I call for a body cast.
I got to go see Jason for, adjustments for probably 10 to 12, maybe more than that adjustments to get my spine back in alignment.
Oh, God.
And 6 weeks without pedicures, too. You got to put that in there.
That's what he asked me when I walked in. He goes, another pedicure? I went, It's not funny, Jason.
If you don't know that story, we played the bit on Friday in your honor.
Did you?
Yeah, we
Thanks.
did.
Erin
Thanks.
messed up her back. We talked about what's the worst physical condition you've ever been in.
Oh, that was bad.
Your back, when you threw it out of alignment, when you slipped a disc, whatever it happened to be,
Yeah.
in the early 21st century, when you were at the pedicure place, when you lifted your foot up off the pillow, when the lady came to give you a pedicure and you threw your back out, you were in worse shape then
Yes.
than you're in today.
It was from the massage chair, though, not the lifting of the feet.
I was too relaxed. And you know, I was thinking about that as I was asking you about the worst physical condition, and I was trying to think back over the last 2 decades plus, the worst physical condition you've ever been in. It occurs to me that all the circumstantial evidence points to the fact that I'm Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
Pretty much, yeah. You better knock on wood, because you could fall off a curb and break your
I
hip.
might dislocate a knuckle. 18 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, traffic and weather updates. Yeah, let's do it now. Ruben's here, traffic time on Keel.
The intersection at Uri Drive and East Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Twenty-one past 7 o'clock, time for Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Francesco Molinari became the first Italian to win a major championship with his British Open victory Sunday. While the gaggle of golfers at the top of the leaderboard chunked and chopped their way down, Molinari turned in a bogey-free round to win by 2 shots over Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Kevin Kistner, and Xander Schauffele. Tiger Woods, playing with Molinari, had a 1-shot lead on the 11th tee, but double bogeyed the hole and followed with a bogey on 12. He finished 5 under par in a tie for 6th. The Angels avoided a sweep with a 14-5 win over the first-place Astros Sunday. Houston drew first blood, but their 1-zip second-inning lead was just a blip on the radar. The Angels scored in every inning but the first and fifth, exploding for 7 runs in the 7th to erase any hope for a Houston comeback. Texas beat the Heat and Cleveland Sunday in Arlington, playing on an afternoon when the mercury reached 108 degrees. The Rangers got 3 RBI from Rougned Odor and a 2-run homer from Ryan Rua in a 5-0 win. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, 23 past 7 o'clock. From the Shreveport Security Systems text line,
Oh, no. Is the deer okay?
318-392-1884. Erin won't give $1 for a tip at a casino, but she'll pay Swepco $2,500. Good God.
I'm a good tipper at the casinos. Ask any of my dealers.
You know, it's interesting you mention that because just as an aside during the break, a woman who is so on the verge, Erin Ironsides, if you remember the old TV show. I can barely, somebody wheel me down to the ladies' room. God, that reminds me of the story about my dad in the wheelchair at the VA, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
That was funny.
Do we have time?
Yes.
We always got time for that story.
Oh.
This is so awesome. And it's one of those stories about my dad that if you say what are the top 3 or the top 5, because he was, to say the least, a memorable man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And how many times before he passed away did you meet him? 3, 4, 5?
I think it was 3.
Was
About
it 3 or 4?
yeah.
You know, you never met him.
I did
'cause he
not.
died in 2010. God, that's
I heard you and him on the phone often.
He would yell.
It was so funny.
I never realized how close my impression. I thought my impression of my father was just an outrageous, over-the-top caricature.
Oh, no. Spot on.
Until I taped him one day by accident.
Yes.
And I realized when I listened to my dad, I thought it was me impersonating my
Yes.
dad.
You'd pick up the phone in the studio.
And he'd start.
Up!
He
What's up? I'm like,
starts-
beep, beep, beep. Whoa.
Literally, you couldn't go, for whatever reason it was, and this was a sign that I knew he loved me, that you couldn't go 15 seconds talking to my dad without a profanity coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was one in specific that broke a commandment, and we won't talk about
No, we won't.
it.
He broke a lot of those.
In his later years, my father got it in his mind that he wanted to start going to the VA, and we shan't go down that road. It's a long story. So I would take him to the VA, and I would drop him off right there, and I'd put him in one of the wheelchairs. They've always got like 100 wheelchairs right down front, like school buses in the Captain Shreve parking lot.
Yes.
And I would put him in one of the wheelchairs. I'd go park the car, and I would walk back and roll him to wherever he had to go see his general practitioner, his internist. And one day, I get back to the wheelchairs, and he's in the one, but I noticed there was no wheelchair with the little foot pedals.
Oh, yeah.
So
his feet are just dangling.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, well, you can't. We've got a ways to go here. We've got to go inside. We've got to go down the hall. We've got to get on an elevator, etc. And I'm thinking, he goes, no. I can hold my feet up that long. I said, you haven't walked without a walker in 10 years.
Yeah.
How are you going to hold your... No problem. And then he uttered a profanity.
Of course.
And I said, okay, we'll give it a shot. And he said, just tell me till you start. Just let me know before you start rolling. I said, okay. So I said, I'm going to start rolling. And I see him lift his feet up. And I push the chair about 1.5 feet. And he puts his feet back down, and his knee, it rolls back up under the... And he goes, ow, and he swears. And I stop and go, what? He goes, I wasn't ready. And I'm thinking, this is going to take a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute.
I said, is your knee okay? Oh, yeah, I'll be all right. It literally takes us, because I'm pushing the chair about 2 feet at a time.
Right. Lift and push, lift and
push. It takes
push.
20 or 25 minutes to get him up the ramp inside because he can't hold his feet up.
Right.
That long. So we get to the doctor, and we go inside, and I apologize. I don't remember the doctor's name, but she would always ask him all the right questions, and she'd go over him head to toe. And the first question is, she's got the chart. She says, Mr. Bill, how are you feeling? I feel okay. Is there any new pain since the last time you were here? And he says, yeah, my damn knee's killing me. And she says, really? There's nothing on the chart about your knee. When did this start happening? And he says, About 15 minutes ago when my damn oldest son couldn't push a wheelchair.
Oh, you felt that bus, didn't you?
Oh,
boy.
I've been under a lot of buses in my life. That wasn't the first, it wasn't the last,
No.
but it was one of the most memorable.
Oh, that's so funny.
We still have to talk about the heat, the mayor's race, and the heat in the mayor's race.
Oh, yeah.
And when we get to the long segment at 40, don't let me forget, we'll talk about people who can't watch news anymore because it's just too depressing.
Yeah, it is.
29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Local news just ahead. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Uri Drive and East Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today. Partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Some record-breaking heat this weekend. We get details from Matt Parker.
Shreveport had one of its hottest days in history Sunday. According to the National Weather Service, temps reached 108 Sunday afternoon, making it the hottest day ever in the month of July. The all-time high is 110, which was set in August of 1909. However, according to reports, we may have a chance to break that record as temps are expected to be near or above record levels for the next few days. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
2 men were shot and killed Sunday night in Shreveport within a half hour of each other. The first shooting happened just after 9 p.m. at the Aspen Apartments on Baird Road. Investigators have taken a female into custody for questioning, but so far no charges. Then about a half hour later, another man was shot and killed at a home on Gardonia Drive. A man there was shot in the chest and died from his wounds. Police say there is no connection between the two killings. A man shot 14 people in Toronto's Greektown neighborhood late last night, leaving a woman dead. Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders said the safety of those at the crime scene is the most important thing right now.
We want and welcome the arm's length investigation to be looked at and to be reviewed, and we'll take every precaution to maintain the integrity of all the evidence that they're going to need. But right now, the public safety of the men and women that are here at the crime scene are the paramount most concern at this particular point.
The suspected shooter is dead. The victims of the deadly boat accident on a Missouri lake remembered at a memorial church service near Branson. Branson Mayor Karen Best getting choked up as she addressed those in the crowd.
And you will always remain in our hearts. We love you, and God bless.
The accident happened as winds rapidly kicked up to near hurricane strength, capsizing the duck boat on Table Rock Lake. It left 17 people dead. When qualifying wrapped up Friday, there were 10 candidates registered and ready to run in Shreveport's mayoral race. Incumbent Mayor Ollie Tyler will be running against the likes of Stephen Jackson Adrian Perkins, Leo Savage, Jim Taliaferro, and others. Now, the general election is November 6th, the runoff December 8th. A woman says her cousin's violent rampage through Los Angeles, which killed a supermarket employee, started when he shot their grandmother in a domestic dispute. 28-year-old Gene Atkins was booked on suspicion of murder Sunday, a day after police say he wounded his grandmother and led them on a chase. The recall of a popular snack food underway. Tom Graham explains.
Ritz Crackers is recalling several of its products over salmonella fears. Parent company Mondale's Global says it affects 16 varieties of Ritz Cracker sandwiches and Ritz Bits. The voluntary recall is underway because the whey powder supplier used to make the snacks is concerned about the potential presence of salmonella. The good news, there have been no reports of illness. Symptoms of salmonella include fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Tom Graham, Fox News.
Tops at the box office this weekend, The Equalizer just beat out the new Mamma Mia movie. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
You okay down there?
Oh, sorry. Mike was on, wasn't it?
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright. This just announced by HBO. The Browns have been replaced by Erin McCarty on this fall's Hard Knocks episodes. Gee whiz.
I'm going to be okay. People that have been texting, I appreciate your thoughts and comments and all that. I'm going to be okay. It's just a matter of getting it all tweaked back the right way.
Might take a while.
Yeah, it might take a little while. It sucks to get old, Robert.
No karate classes for you for a while.
You know, I had a young man in the car with me who had gone to pick up at the Marshall train station. And, you know, he stiffened up his legs at the moment of impact and grabbed the shiznit bar. And
it's an option.
Yeah.
$250.
You can get it on most cars.
Yeah.
And he stiffened up his legs at the moment of impact. And his legs were sore for about a day or two, but he's back to normal now. He's 23 years old. I'm like, this is not right.
Meanwhile, you're going to be
in
some degree of recovery for probably the next 90 days.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting that little machine bashing on me at the chiropractor for, at least 12 visits.
Yeah.
Thank God for Dr. Jason.
Has this motivated you to perhaps undertake a daily or thrice weekly exercise regimen? Because, it's Matt's shaking his head. No.
I'm thinking about a stretching routine. I'm slightly thinking about doing some stretches in the morning.
Time to get out of bed.
I think what I might do is put my plate farther away and reach for the plate and then stretch the food.
Yeah, I'm not sure what form of yoga that's called. I think it's called McDonald's yoga.
Y'all are so mean.
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm hurting. When I first sit down, so you'll understand, when I first get in the sitting position, it feels like people are stabbing me with knives in my lower back. My neck, I cannot look to the right. And you guys are laughing at me.
Just to be
clear,
you
miserable cretins.
Just to be clear, you're in semi-permanently damaged here. And the deer walked away with a bruise.
Yeah, lost a hoof like a deer equivalent of a hangnail. What do you keep your thermostat on at the house?
74 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that'd be too cold for me.
See, I may bump it up to 75.
Mine's on 76.
Is it?
Yours?
76.
I may need to bump it up because it's just running and running and running and running.
My friends, and I shan't mention their names lest I just because. I mean, a married couple, they keep the thermostat in their house on 62.
Holy crap.
62?
Yeah, I call that hotel room cold.
Why?
You know, when you go to the hotel room, when you first go in, how it's always ice? I don't know. That's just, and they both like it that way.
Do they dress with like wool PJs?
You go to their house for dinner, and you're taking a coat, you're taking a sweater, you're taking a hoodie, and they're just traipsing around in like August wear.
Oh my goodness.
That's like Elvis recreating the morgue at his house cold.
They just
Swepco loves them.
It never turns off.
It never goes off.
No, they just got back from an Alaska trip. And he said, well, when, we didn't want it to run while we were gone, so we put it on like 75. When they were gone. He said when we got back, he said it was like, oh my
Dripping
God,
sweat.
I could barely stand it. It was 75 in the house. I said, that's what it is in Hawaii every day.
Yeah.
He said it took 3 days to get that thing back down to 62.
I bet.
Oh my goodness.
62 degrees.
People are so upset right now because the electric bills are going to be skyrocketing
Shreveport
high.
Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. Don't lie. What do you put your thermostat on? Just so we can sort of
I want to know.
Have a basis for comparison. I'm not sure anybody anywhere keeps it as low as 62.
I think that takes the record low.
I mean, he's a very good cook. I'm not going to mention, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And he's an excellent cook, and he makes awesome gumbo. And it's like a couple of weeks ago, and we mentioned you haven't made gumbo in a while.
Yeah,
and he
he
said, well, it's
hadn't.
not gumbo weather. I said, in your house, it's always gumbo weather. 739, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, traffic update. Ruben's here.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 742. Keel app is always a free download from Office Furniture Source. Speaking of my friends, my vast array, a vast field of friends, I have another one, and he tells this story. And he says he's watching TV news one night, and he says he watches the first story, and it just gets him angry. It gets him mad. And the second story comes on, and it gets him even madder, and he can feel his just like stomach is twisted into knots. Third story comes on, and he gets even angrier, and he's sitting in his chair in the living room, and he's just livid. And his wife says, you've got to stop watching TV news. And he said, Why? And she says, do you realize you've been yelling at the television for the last 5 minutes?
Oh, my goodness.
And he did not realize he had been yelling at the television over the 3 news stories. Now, the other evening, I'm driving home, and I'm playing listening to Fox News TV on my phone through the radio in the car.
Sure.
And I'm watching, and there's a Democrat on, and basically the Democrat says, talking about Trump and the elections and Russian collusion, and he says, you know, the Robert Mueller investigation, 12 Russians were arrested for election interference. And I hear this voice say, no, 12 Russians were indicted. They'll never be extradited to the U.S. The Rosenstein report said they were low-level people who may not even have had anything to do with the Russian government.
Right.
And then on TV, the Democrat guy says, Russians hacked John Podesta's email. What more evidence do you need? And then the voice says, no, Podesta was hacked because he was emailing a former Secretary of State who had an unsecured server, which, by the way, is a felony for which she has never been indicted. Then the Democrat on TV says, Russians stole the election for Trump by hacking into voting machines. And the voice says, what? Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? 99.999% of voting in the U.S. is done by machines, not online. There's no internet involved. You can't hack a voting machine that's not online, that's not hooked up to the internet. And then it dawns on me, as I'm in the car, driving down the road, listening to Fox News, that the Democrat was on Fox News on television. That the voice that I heard answering him every time he would make a point was not a Fox News guy.
Who was it?
It was me.
You were yelling?
I'm yelling at
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Have I reached the tipping point?
Yeah.
Should I just turn it off? Put it on a soft music station, something new age. How's about a little Kenny G? How's a little, maybe Yanni for the ride home today?
Oh, that'd be good.
So you think I have come to that point?
You're over the edge. Yeah, you're screaming at
Yes,
these
I
people.
was. Yes, I was.
You don't need to do that.
And not only was I yelling at the radio or the TV, because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening right now who say, yeah, I do that all the time.
I
but
yell at you guys every
Democrats
morning.
get me pissed off. I just,
Yeah.
I gotta.
They can't hear you. You know that, right?
I was holy. It wasn't only that I was yelling at the radio, at the Democrat guy on Fox News. I didn't realize I was doing it.
Ooh-wee. Wow. You need to take a
So
break.
that guy's making some good points. Wait, it was you.
Yeah. You need to take a break.
I think so.
From the news.
I think I have.
Because you're over the edge. Definitely. It's frustrating because it's one side or the other. That's all. I watched this, I guess, while I was on break Friday. I went back and watched the Judge Janine on The View with Whoopi.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, my God.
Stop just a second.
Please.
Hold on. While we're talking about that, somebody said to me
Did
this.
she really spit on her?
Somebody said to me this weekend, how come you didn't talk about that when it happened? I said, because I think it was a setup. I love Judge Janine. We had her in town. We met her. We hung out with her. We had dinner with her. Why would Janine Pirro go on that show?
She's promoting her book.
Why would she go on that show? Nobody who watches The View, nobody on that panel, nobody in that audience is going to buy a Janine Pirro book. She went on that show. Bless her heart. This is only my theory. I have no proof. She went on that show to get into a fight with Whoopi so that they would both make the news, so they could both talk about what itches they were, and both get a lot of publicity. In my theory, and again, I have no evidence, but it makes a lot of sense. Why would you go on that show?
Judge Janine really thinks she can win you over. You know how she is. She thought maybe I can win over maybe I can convince some people.
She's no fool, and that was a fool's errand, and she's smarter than that. Here's my theory. Here's my postulate. That after the show, an hour after the show, she and Whoopi were sitting at the bar, sharing a drink. Here's to you. Here's to you. Couldn't have done it without you. Couldn't have done it without you. And they're clicking glasses.
No way.
748, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic and weather up next on KEEL.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Oldman Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today. Partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Eight before 7. No. 8 before 8 o'clock. Oops. 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Francesco Molinari became the first Italian to win a major championship with his British Open victory Sunday. While the gaggle of golfers at the top of the leaderboard chunked and chopped their way down, Molinari turned in a bogey-free round to win by 2 shots over Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Kevin Kisner, and Xander Schauffele. Tiger Woods, playing with Molinari, had a 1-shot lead on the 11th tee, but double bogeyed the hole and followed with a bogey on 12. He finished 5 under par in a tie for 6th. The Angels avoided a sweep with a 14-5 win over the first-place Astros Sunday. Houston drew first blood, but their 1-zip second-inning lead was just a blip on the radar. The Angels scored in every inning but the first and fifth, exploding for 7 runs in the 7th to erase any hope for a Houston comeback. Texas beat the Heat and Cleveland Sunday in Arlington, playing on an afternoon when the mercury reached 108 degrees. The Rangers got 3 RBI from Rougned Odor and a 2-run homer from Ryan Rua in a 5-0 win. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
How about you don't headbang, dummy?
That's our back act.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, 755. The Keel website is keelnews.com. And I mention that because you are in the midst of putting the story, the post, the blog together about renovation, refurbishing.
Mhm.
What's the title? The headline that you decided on is?
Places we'd like to see renovated and reopened in downtown Shreveport.
Like what off the top of your head?
The old Federal Building on Fannin. The Greyhound bus station. There, I think it's also on Fannin.
Basically across from the new convention center.
Millennium Studios really doesn't need to be renovated, but I'd love to see it back operational, up and
You know,
going.
it's interesting because it's called, and we've talked about this a lot, the Shops at Madison Park.
Yes.
And that's the big renovation of that entire mall, strip mall area that was basically, I just called it the old El Chico's place.
Right.
Next door to Maryland's, they're on Fern. I think that's still Fern Gilbert. I don't know. The point being, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And that, in fact, is where Ono's is going to go in.
Oh, cool.
Which was the food truck.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to do the food truck anymore or
Right.
not. I would assume. I don't know.
Another food truck success, Bojack's, has opened in the East Bank District in Bossier. I went there this weekend. Man, that is a cool little
I've seen
joint.
the photos. I've seen the photos online. The renovation job that they've done with that building.
Oh.
And see, that's what I'm talking about when we get talking about Cross. I almost said Cross Lake, Cross Bayou.
Yeah.
We need $1 billion of new stuff. No, everything we need: office space, retail space, living space. It's 800 yards away. It's called downtown. They have renovated the Shops at Madison Park. Renovated.
And East Bank in Bossier. It's amazing.
Renovated. You know what else is now open? I haven't made it yet, and I promise I will this week. The new hot dog place downtown Shreveport.
Oh.
Missing Link. Is that the name
Yes.
of it?
Wow.
And I can't think of what the address is, but they have renovated.
It's
tell
on
me.
Texas.
Okay.
I don't have the exact address, but it's on Texas Street.
Renovate what we got. 757, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Hannity.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Which one of the 5 items the Democrats are running on is going to help the economy get better? Impeaching Trump, open borders, is that going to help job creation? Obamacare, really? You still want to keep it? Keep your doctor, keep your plan, and pay less. That doesn't sound like a good idea, but that's what they're running on. They want their crumbs back. They think the crumbs that you were given in your tax cut, it's theirs. They deserve to spend it. And then, of course, stopping Justice Kavanaugh from getting on the Supreme Court. That's their agenda. They're not talking about any other thing. It's just anti-obstruct, anti-Trump. Feigning moral outrage every day. We now have more jobs available than we have people to fill them in this country. Hillary is still the 2020 frontrunner with Democratic women. I think she really does want to run. I don't think she can get over the fact that she lost.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Buying a home should be one of life's best experiences, but today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher payments. And that can turn a great experience into an anxious one. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. It's called the Power Buying Process. We check your income, assets, and credit to provide you with a verified approval, which can give you the strength of a cash buyer. Once verified, you qualify for our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days while you find your new home. Then, once you've found your new home, if rates have gone up, your rate stays locked. But if rates have gone down, your rate drops, and you get to keep that new lower rate. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions are...
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast: partly sunny, heating up to 100 today and tonight. Patchy clouds and a low 74. It'll be partly to mostly sunny with upper 90s tomorrow and Wednesday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning. It's 8:03. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. Down yonder, Miss Erin. Local news just a couple of seconds away.
A violent Sunday night leaves 2 people dead in Shreveport. We'll have more on that. A hot weekend and more hot days ahead. Record-breaking heat. And we'll lay out the field for the Shreveport mayor's race.
Yeah, we will take a close look at that. What we were just talking about off the radio about celebrities. You think we can talk about that on the radio?
Yeah, of course.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm making sort of a valid point that is constantly overlooked by mainstream media?
Mm-hmm.
And it
Oh, definitely.
And you don't think I sound like just like a mean, gotcha kind of old?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think we can.
You'll kind of walk me through it.
Yes.
Plus Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
of information. KEEL News now.
SPD investigating 2 late-night murders. Matt Parker has details.
2 men were shot and killed Sunday night in Shreveport within a half hour of each other. The first shooting happened just after 9 p.m. at the Aspen apartment complex on Baird Road. Investigators have taken a female into custody for questioning, but so far, no charges have been filed. Then about a half hour later, another man was shot and killed in the 3000 block of Gardenia Drive. A man there was shot in the chest and died from his wounds. Police say there is no connection between the 2 killings. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Record-breaking heat over the weekend. Shreveport had one of its hottest days in history Sunday. According to the National Weather Service, we climbed to 108, making it the hottest day ever in the month of July. The all-time high is 110, which was set in August of 1909. However, according to reports, we may have a chance to break that record, as temps are expected to be near or above record levels for the next few days. The field is set for Shreveport's mayoral race. 10 candidates are in the hunt. Incumbent Ollie Tyler will be running against the likes of Stephen Jackson, Adrian Perkins, Leo Savage, Jim Talaferro, and others. The general election is November 6th. If necessary, the runoff will happen December 8th. Louisiana, one of the 5 most vulnerable states, in a report regarding weak voting security. The study says paperless voting machines are dangerous, but Interim Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin says the claims just don't hold water.
They believe paper ballots are the better system. I think that's just a highly partisan charged report. We've had multiple elections since 2016, and we've had 0 problems.
He says the Secretary of State's office takes painstaking measures to keep election ballots accurate. Dozens of Ritz cracker products recalled due to a possible salmonella contamination. The products contain whey powder that's been recalled by the company's supplier due to the presence of salmonella. The tax deal struck by lawmakers and the governor to balance the budget will end Louisiana's state sales tax holidays for 7 years, when lawmakers renewed 0.45% of an expiring 1% state sales tax. They also reworked the sales tax breaks. A new study from the Pennington Biomedical Center shows video games that require physical activity can improve health in children with obesity. The study involved 46 youngsters. Lead researcher Dr. Amanda Staiano explains the results.
We gave kids active video games to play, and we found that the kids who played these games actually lost weight and improved their cholesterol and blood pressure and increased their physical activity.
She says there's much to take away from the results of this study. A bell at a Branson, Missouri chapel chimed 17 times in remembrance of the victims killed in a boat accident. Hundreds in the tourist community, along with survivors of the tragedy and friends and family members, attended a memorial service last night. Uber suspends a driver who recorded hundreds of passengers without their permission. What's more, the driver actually live-streamed the video from his car. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 8 o'clock, time for KEEL traffic. Ruben's ready.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-20 westbound starting at Spring and Market. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road near Brownlee Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
There goes your pancreas. 11 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. Specifically this morning, what do you put what's your thermostat set at? Done. We'll cover this later.
Yeah.
Cover this later.
So hot.
Ours basically at Town Square Media has a lock on it that
we're about to crowbar it.
It looks like it's always comfortable in here.
It's nice.
Other parts of the building that may be a little
right.
Well, this is like a biodome. One room will be comfortable. One room will be like the Antarctic. The other room's like a desert.
Okay. So what I started talking about, and I'd thought about this for a while, and I don't know if I'd ever said it to you out loud or not. But my friends and I have talked about it repeatedly. I know we talked about it most recently at golf yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to sound mean. I just and to me, if somebody said it to me, if I knew them and I knew if I knew they weren't awful people,
right,
I'd accept it for how I knew them to be.
Sure.
But if I didn't know them or thought they might be a little nasty sometimes, I would think it was a horrible thing to say. So I don't mean to sound like a horrible person, but I was talking to Erin during the break, and I said, "Do you have HBO?" And she said, "Yeah." You do not, or you do?
I do.
You do. And I said, "Have you seen on HBO the Robin Williams documentary? It's called, what is it? Come Inside My Mind."
Right.
It's amazing. I mean,
it really is.
If you watch him work, you realize this guy was like, one of the segments is the end of a Tonight Show segment with Johnny Carson. And at the end, Johnny Carson just looks at him and says, "You're like the most talented person I've ever met."
Right.
I mean, you live in a world, and he did.
He was so talented.
He lived in a world nobody else.
Different zone.
Maybe off the top of my, I just can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they mention it a couple of times in the documentary, and you'd said, "God, it was just it was amazing to watch."
It really was.
And I don't know off the top of my head, and the kind of, because I guess he and comedian Bobcat Goldthwait were like best friends, if not very good friends. And Bobcat talked about it. Whatever the early stage dementia that he had, and what I said was, and this was the part that to me, now that I start to say it, I'm a horrible person, but this crosses my mind. And it crossed my mind with Robin Williams, and it crossed my mind with Linda Ronstadt, who's still alive but not well.
Mm-hmm.
And it crosses my mind with Joni Mitchell, who's still alive and not well.
So many.
And it crosses my with Glenn Fry, who's passed away.
And the list goes on.
And it's all these music and movie and just show business, all these celebrities who are about my age, early to mid 60s, who rose to fame in the middle to late 70s to early 80s. and have passed away or are ailing from any number of diseases. And what nobody ever talks about is, well, yeah, but for 20 years of your life, you consumed drugs and alcohol like there was no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Robin Williams, alcohol and cocaine.
You wrecked some brain cells, period.
Linda
big time.
Ronstadt, massive cocaine. Glenn Fry,
Mm-hmm.
in the history of the Eagles, brags about how much drugs, how many they used to do, from peyote to other hallucinogens,
Oh, yeah.
to marijuana to heroin. I mean, we talk about that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to sound like an awful person.
Right.
I don't mean to sound mean or I told you so. But when you look at Robin Williams and his lifestyle from the time he was probably 20 to 45, or Linda Ronstadt, she has Parkinson's,
Mm-hmm.
or Glenn Fry, who passed away a couple of years ago, or Joni Mitchell, or I can go on.
Sure.
Look, I know two people. I knew two people who smoked marijuana basically every day for 2 decades, maybe
Right.
longer, and both died of brain cancer.
Yeah.
And so when you look at these celebrities who are tragically passing away from whatever, and to not bring up at some point, well, you know, it might have had something to do with all the chemicals you put in your system for half your life.
Right. And we don't hear about that. We're just hearing
And
about...
they just sort of mention it in the periphery of the story, which I kind of understand, because that kind of harsh, that's why
They don't want the drug use to define them, you know?
Because it sounds mean.
Yes.
Because it sounds nasty, because it
Mhm.
means like you're saying, I told you so. See, if you had, look.
But I bet if they had to do it again,
I had
they
mentioned,
would take that part of their life out.
I had mentioned to you not so long ago, and you always make fun of me because I get a magazine called Garden and Gun Magazine.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome magazine, and it's basically everything great about the South and Southern culture. And there is in a recent issue of Garden and Gun an essay, a story that a guy writes about Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers dying of cancer at 69. And it's an amazing article about dying, because it is in the cumulative, it is sweet. And if you had said to me I could describe someone dying as sweet under any circumstance, I would have said, no way.
No.
And it is the brilliance of the author that makes it like that. But you've heard, but when Greg Allman passed away, I said it's not that he died at 69. It's that he somehow managed to live to be 69.
Right. It's amazing that he survived
That he
all
was
that
a
he went through.
heroin addict for like 20 or 25 years.
Exactly.
Eric Clapton is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Paul McCartney is still alive. Good God, Keith Richards is still alive.
How? You wonder how. Based on how they live their life.
So bless his heart, Robin Williams or Glenn Fry or Linda Ronstadt or Joni Mitchell, and those are the two that pop, the four rather, the two that are still alive pop into my head but are ailing. I'm going, yeah, but
Oh.
you put half of Columbia up your nose,
Right.
you know?
For years. Did
that sound mean?
No, it doesn't. It's logical.
Okay.
It is logical.
Okay, thanks.
I got the Attorney General Jeff Landry joining us at 8:40, by the way.
What?
Yeah, I forgot about this.
No, that's awesome.
Because we're going to talk about the death penalty, because there's a big tinkling contest between he and the governor.
It's one way a girl might phrase it.
And we want to try to get to the bottom of it, at least get his side.
Which one stands? Which one sits?
Which one drops their britches?
We'll find out. 19 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-20 westbound starting at Spring and Market, and we have some traffic delays on Benton Road near Brownlee Road, Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
21 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Francesco Molinari became the first Italian to win a major championship with his British Open victory Sunday. While the gaggle of golfers at the top of the leaderboard chunked and chopped their way down, Molinari turned in a bogey-free round to win by 2 shots over Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Kevin Kisner, and Xander Schauffele. Tiger Woods, playing with Molinari, had a 1-shot lead on the 11th tee, but double bogeyed the hole and followed with a bogey on 12. He finished 5 under par in a tie for 6th. The Angels avoided a sweep with a 14-5 win over the first-place Astros Sunday. Houston drew first blood, but their 1-zip second-inning lead was just a blip on the radar. The Angels scored in every inning but the first and fifth, exploding for 7 runs in the 7th to erase any hope for a Houston comeback. Texas beat the Heat and Cleveland Sunday in Arlington, playing on an afternoon when the mercury reached 108 degrees. The Rangers got 3 RBI from Rougned Odor and a 2-run homer from Ryan Rua in a 5-0 win. From the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Stop. No dancing. You're going to throw your back in.
Oh, man. That was good. That was pretty good. Woo! Oh.
Erin's kind of messed up.
It's sore right now.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel.
I wonder why. Miss Dancing Queen over there. I can barely walk, but damn it, I can boogie.
Yeah.
Well, this is my idea of dancing, moving my hand up and down.
Looked like a Soul Train line dance.
Oh, I have stuff I need you to load in my car, by the way, from Amazon Prime Day.
Believe me, walking American Ninja Warrior.
I know.
Obstacle course isn't as difficult as getting to my file cabinet in the office.
I need my toilet paper and all that loaded in my car.
What's in there?
There's toilet paper.
There's 2 huge boxes.
Yeah.
And then there's a...
I'm embarrassed.
You should be.
But that's
I bought my bread maker. Hush, Matt.
It'll be used once and then
I'm
thrown in the closet.
I'm going to bring your damn asses some bread, and you're going to love it.
It'll be your one use.
Yeah. I bought my bread maker. I bought some paper towels.
Last week she was on, you're putting people out of business. You're putting people out of work here.
No, somebody had to deliver that.
So last week she's on Amazon in the middle of the show. and she is
We were talking about it in the news.
It was Amazon Prime Days.
Yes.
So she says to herself out loud, of course we could hear, do I really need this? Do I need a bread maker? Do I need, what was the other one? A tire pressure gauge.
There was an infuser.
I don't even know what that is.
A fragrance infuser thingy.
What is that?
You put these oils in it, and it spreads this beautiful scent across your home. I passed on that. I didn't get that.
Oh, the discipline is monk-like.
I know, it was amazing.
Did you buy a crash pad while you're on there?
But the bread maker should be in my office. I'm excited. Now I have to go get some yeast.
There's a joke there.
Don't do it.
Wow. So the Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. And we have, because of the heat, we've been taking... you pull those up on your phone for a couple of seconds. We have been taking... We just wanted to know What is your thermostat
Oh.
set on?
People are so worried.
Mine at the house is 76. If I'm upstairs, it's 76.
Mhm.
If I go downstairs and I'm going to be downstairs for an extended time, I put it on 78.
Yeah.
Now, I had mentioned my friends who live in Bossier, who shall remain nameless, but their initials are T and K, and their thermostat in their house.
Yeah.
By the way, Matt would love some donuts.
Yes, I would.
The thermostat in their house
This is amazing.
is 62.
62.
62 degrees.
Wow.
What are some of the, what have we received?
Mine is at 76, one listener tells us. There's another one that says, I set mine at 78. Let's see. In the winter, the heat is on at 70, but right now, 72 at night, 75 during the day.
Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884.
Another says 73.
Got one just a little bit ago. And it said, follow me on this because you're going to think I'm getting it backwards and I'm not. It says, in the winter, 60. In the winter, 60. In the summer, 80. Evidently, we're
Wow.
saving money here. I had mentioned to you when my nephew Brad lived in the Haven, when he had the house over there way back toward the back by Greg Machota and all that, he would never turn his heat on. If you went into his house in December, it was probably 51 or 52 degrees. And he, like you, was building up a virtual 401k from SWEPCO because they must have owed him about $2,000.
Yes.
Because he was on that auto pay. Who
Yep.
else is like that? You're on that auto pay.
And they
it's
owe me money.
50, 60, 75 bucks every month.
I think I owe them now. I think we unbalanced it. I think I got to start paying SWEPCO again.
She came in this morning. She threw up her hand. She goes, oh, hell, there goes the bread maker money.
I'm going to bring you some bread and you're going to love it. Every ounce of it. Homemade bread there's nothing better.
Rope flavor. Can't wait.
Hold on, Erin, cover your ears.
Okay.
Robert, between us boys, how long do you think it is before she puts that thing up in the closet, never to see the light of day again?
I guarantee you, it'll either be a coat rack, a paperweight, or a center place on her dining table by the middle of August.
You boys are bad.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Louisiana's Attorney General Jeff Landry joins us in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, we do want to know what your thermostat's on because it's going to be hot again. I don't know anything about horse racing, but I would assume when they cancel the races, the live racing at Louisiana Downs for the safety of all involved.
Yep, on Saturday.
Including the animals.
I got a text. We got a text on the Shreveport Security text line. This is the first time they've ever done that because of heat.
29 past 8 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Local news next. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Shed Road, Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
information. KEEL News now.
Some record-breaking heat this weekend. We get details from Matt Parker.
Shreveport had one of its hottest days in history Sunday. According to the National Weather Service, temps reached 108 Sunday afternoon, making it the hottest day ever in the month of July. The all-time high is 110, which was set in August of 1909. However, according to reports, we may have a chance to break that record as temps are expected to be near or above record levels for the next few days. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
2 men were shot and killed Sunday night in Shreveport within a half hour of each other. The first shooting happened just after 9 p.m. at the Aspen Apartments on Baird Road. Investigators have taken a female into custody for questioning, but so far no charges. Then about a half hour later, another man was shot and killed at a home on Gardonia Drive. A man there was shot in the chest and died from his wounds. Police say there is no connection between the two killings. A man shot 14 people in Toronto's Greektown neighborhood late last night, leaving a woman dead. Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders said the safety of those at the crime scene is the most important thing right now.
We want and welcome the arm's length investigation to be looked at and to be reviewed, and we'll take every precaution to maintain the integrity of all the evidence that they're going to need. But right now, the public safety of the men and women that are here at the crime scene are the paramount most concern at this particular point.
The suspected shooter is dead. The victims of the deadly boat accident on a Missouri lake remembered at a memorial church service near Branson. Branson Mayor Karen Best getting choked up as she addressed those in the crowd.
And you will always remain in our hearts. We love you, and God bless.
The accident happened as winds rapidly kicked up to near hurricane strength, capsizing the duck boat on Table Rock Lake. It left 17 people dead. When qualifying wrapped up Friday, there were 10 candidates registered and ready to run in Shreveport's mayoral race. Incumbent Mayor Ollie Tyler will be running against the likes of Stephen Jackson, Adrian Perkins, Leo Savage, Jim Talaferro, and others. Now, the general election is November 6th, the runoff December 8th. A woman says her cousin's violent rampage through Los Angeles, which killed a supermarket employee, started when he shot their grandmother in a domestic dispute. 28-year-old Gene Atkins was booked on suspicion of murder Sunday, a day after police say he wounded his grandmother and led them on a chase. The recall of a popular snack food underway. Tom Graham explains.
Ritz Crackers is recalling several of its products over salmonella fears. Parent company Mondali's Global says it affects 16 varieties of Ritz Cracker sandwiches and Ritz Bits. The voluntary recall is underway because the whey powder supplier used to make the snacks is concerned about the potential presence of salmonella. The good news, there have been no reports of illness. Symptoms of salmonella include fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Tom Graham, Fox News.
Tops at the box office this weekend, The Equalizer just beat out the new Mamma Mia movie. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Message and data rates may apply. Texting enrolls for recurring text messages.
I'm Trina Webster.
And I'm Dan Webster.
We're the founders of Z-Quiet.
Let me be honest, I snored.
Crazy loud.
And I was forced to sleep on the couch most nights.
Dan tried everything, including surgery, to solve his snoring problem.
Nothing worked.
So he turned to experts and created a solution that's a total game changer. A mouthpiece called Z-Quiet.
One that gently opens the airway where the snoring happens. In fact, it's based on the same technology as treatments costing thousands of dollars.
It allows natural jaw movement so you can talk, breathe normally, and best of all, sleep comfortably without making a sound.
And what's really cool is that it couldn't be easier. Just pop it in before you go to sleep.
Over 1 million men and women have kicked snoring out of bed thanks to Z-Quiet, and you can too.
With Z-Quiet.
Z-Quiet fits both men and women. Try it risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95. Text STAR to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com. Text STAR to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com.
The KEEL studios are powered by Abalone Door and Iron Works, where real value lasts.
Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty once again for Twin City Appliance online at twincityappliance.com. You know what you're supposed to do here. Do you know what you're supposed to do here? When I just you'll know we've worked together for 22 years. When I give you the visual cue.
Okay.
You just kind of, because I know you're in a lot of pain, your
Yeah.
back's hurting. I just want you to give it the saddest little miserable, pitiful whimper you can.
All right.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty once again for Twin City Appliance, online at twincityappliance.com. If your refrigerator sounds like this, if your microwave sounds like this, if your if your dishwasher sounds like this, if your garbage disposal sounds like this, call Twin City Appliance. The phone number is 318-688-0253. Twin City Appliance, in business, serving the Arklatex, the most awesome major appliance repair service in the Arklatex for nigh on 34 years. Don't make any more noise. Call today, Twin City Appliance, online, twincityappliance.com. Once again, the phone number 318, you ought to see her face, 318-688-0253. .117 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. It's 21 away from 9 o'clock. Joining us for a little bit is the Attorney General for the state of Louisiana, Mr. Jeff Landry. Hey, Mr. Jeff, welcome back to Keel. How are you?
Robert, it's not like being in studio with y'all, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I assume you are. Are you in Baton Rouge this morning? You at the office? You at home? Where exactly are you as we speak?
Man, I can't start to divulge exactly where I am in the state. It's bad enough they got enough people looking for me. I can tell you where I'm not. I'm not in Shreveport. I wish I was.
So, see, that's kind of what I'm going to talk about is what
He's in a beach chair, smoking a cigar. Leave him alone.
What were the tips?
Well, let me tell you, that's one thing I'm not doing, Aaron, but I do appreciate that. I really wish I was.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hot up here again today. It's supposed to be like 108 here again today, and I was just checking on the temps down south where you are.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's going to be like 100. I mean, I saw this morning. I was looking. They had like 108, 110 heat index for the Lafayette area. That's where I live out in Broussard.
Time for a jog with Jeff Landry. Speaking of the heat, watch this segue. Things are heating up between you and John Bell Edwards, Governor Edwards, over the death penalty. Give us a little summary of what's going on, would you please?
Yeah, I mean, Robert, look, this thing is pretty simple. So, back in 2016 when we took office, the suit had been dragging on. We have not carried out an execution since 2010. When we got involved, we looked at the case. We listened to what the lawyers at the time, who had been involved in the case, were saying. We, in an effort to try to get our hands around the issue, we agreed to an extension, to the state. This was back in 2016. In between, from that point forward, we had numerous conversations with the Department of Corrections to outline paths forward and methods under which we could go back to carrying out these executions. Each and every time when we laid those out, we understood, and I respect that the Secretary of the Department of Corrections has to answer to the governor. I mean, that's who he's appointed to. That's who his boss is. And so ultimately he had to get signed off on, for us to move forward. That never occurred. Then fast forward, we don't hear anything. There's no movement. Nothing's going on. They decide, they did not communicate with us, to an additional extension of the particular stay. And that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, because look, we have laid out a multitude of possible solutions. Other states all around us have worked through the same particular issues and have been able to carry out their execution. And here's my concern. My concern is for the public safety. It's for the safety of our citizens. When you have a rule of law, when you have sentences and you don't carry them out, that is not in any way a deterrent from crime. That is an encouragement of crime.
Mr. Jeff, pardon me, if we go back a couple of years and when John Bell was running for governor, and he sort of presented himself, I'm the Democrat that you conservatives can vote for. And part of his platform, if you will, was backing the death penalty, was backing capital punishment. Do you think this is purposeful? Do you think this is a hedge on that by him, or do you think it's just that it's a legitimate legal fight?
Well, look, he has never answered that question. We have been posing that question to him since last week. The media has consistently asked him about it, and he has never answered the question of, do you or don't you support the death penalty? You know, and Robert, here's the thing that I think citizens need to understand. When someone goes on trial for a capital crime, there's basically two trials. One is to determine whether or not they committed the offense. Then the next is to whether or not, it's a whole other trial as to whether or not the offense that they committed deserves the death penalty. Okay? And so right now we have over 70 people sitting on death row, and we haven't carried out an execution since 2010. The state of Arkansas, several months ago, a number of months ago, a good friend of mine, Attorney General from there, Leslie Rutledge, was able to break through the legal blockades and put 7 of them up in 24 hours. Now, not all of them were carried out, but I think they carried out 2 or 3 of them. Okay, and speaking to her, she tells me that it absolutely made a difference.
Let me ask you, Jeff. I'm a little miffed by how this legal rank. The Edwards administration petitioned the federal courts for a year-long extension of this no execution. When the governor of our state typically petitions the court, your state attorney general is the one who does that. You're telling us that you weren't in on this whole legal maneuver at all?
Well, right. So here's what happened. It was technically not the governor, but it was the Department of Corrections that filed the motion for the state.
Wouldn't you typically be involved in that?
We were involved, and we at the time we had enrolled. So what happened was, back when I took over, the governor's office on the agenda was basically running most of the legal affairs of the state, which was not the way our Constitution was designed. Mm-hmm. If y'all remember, the governor and I had a big old fight over this in 2016. I took him to court. The court answered that yes, the Attorney General is the chief legal officer for the state. So there were some cases under which, the Department of Corrections hires an attorney to defend them. We approve those attorneys. Sometimes we get involved at various different levels. We were involved. We did enroll in this particular case. When they decided to file the motion, they did not notify us. They just figured, I'll go ahead and play devil's advocate for them. Okay, I'll give them a pass on this, Aaron, in good faith. Maybe they figured because in 2016 we had agreed that we would that they could just, it was apparent that we would agree again, but that wasn't the case. We had laid out a number of methods or paths forward to find a solution to get these executions back on track, and they never responded to that. And so when they just up and went and filed the motion for the extension, I told our people, we went in there, started talking, we went back to them and said, hey, what about all the things we laid out? So we can't get the governor to sign off on it.
Basically, Mr. J, you see at this point, you see Governor Edwards as an obstacle. Fair enough?
Oh, no, absolutely. It's a complete obstacle. And here's the interesting part. The governor, he is so crafty. I give him that. He's so crafty at convincing the public as to what they want him to do, while he does the opposite. Okay, because he was like, the Attorney General never put forth legislation. The governor put the legislature in session a record number of times to raise taxes when he wanted more money out of the taxpayer. The governor, with his leadership, put forth all his criminal justice reinvestment bills out there that let all these people out of prison in early sentencing. His pardon and parole board, if you go back and look at the number of pardons and commuting of sentences, and this is, again, he said, I'm for taking care of nonviolent offenders. I would beg to differ that his record shows differently. So right now he has admitted since I raised this issue that, well, we need a legislative fix. Well, let me tell you, where has he been?
What are the alternatives for death penalty? Are there other drugs we can use? Can we put the electric chair back into service? What are you suggesting?
Well, here's what I would tell you: to stay tuned, Aaron. I like to do my homework. I like to be very thorough. We have been working all weekend, and we will lay out this week the very clear solutions to the public as to the direction that the governor can take the state in order to get justice for these victims' families. And when we lay it out, you will find out that, while the governor wants to claim that I'm politically grandstanding, that the fact of the matter is that what he's doing is placating to liberals. And so during this week, we will lay that out, and I think it'll be very interesting. Give y'all something to report on by the end of the week.
You bet. Look forward to seeing that. Thank you, sir.
We don't want to give you all the juice at the beginning.
Yeah, gotcha. Attorney General Jeff Landry, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Okay, take care.
846, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Ruben, traffic update.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-20 westbound starting at Spring and Market. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road near Brownlee Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today. Partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Good morning. It's 849, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, AccuWeather.com forecast. Guess what? Sunny and really hot today, let's just call it 105. Whew. Right now, 83 at Keel.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
Bonobos, a company that makes men's clothes, wants us to, quote, evolve the definition of masculinity. They think it's too narrowing. This is one of the dumbest ideas that's ever been evacuated onto the internet. Words have meaning. When you change the meaning of words, you lose the ability to communicate. There are too many elements of society trying to change the meaning of plain words to suit political agendas. They don't like what the words in our laws and religious texts mean, so they change the meaning to suit their preferred ideology. If the meaning of the word masculinity offends you, don't change the word. Change how you are.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
All your favorite bumper music.
I love it. Thank you,
101.7
guys.
FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So we're sitting here minding our own business, talking to the Attorney General
OMG.
of the state of Louisiana.
And Matt, what happened?
And the phone rings.
Yeah, the phone was ringing. I was like, oh, it's probably just some listener. I'll get to it here in a second because, you know, occasionally if you answer the phone when you have more people on, it screws things up.
Things can go wrong.
Yeah.
So I waited till after the AG gets off, and I answered, hey, I'm from the governor's office, and we want the governor on right now.
What?
Wow.
Like, hey, now.
We've only got like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we're almost done.
We can't give him the time. Why did
we want to give him just time.
Why did they want on?
I guess they want to respond to the AG's statements and theories and what he was putting out there. So,
wow. You talked to the feller on the phone.
I did.
And the governor, with his response to Mr. Landry, will be on tomorrow.
Tomorrow or Wednesday. We're working on a schedule.
Wednesday, because evidently, how cool is that?
He's got some early. What are they doing listening?
That they were listening in Baton Rouge.
Shout out, BR, go Red Stick. That's my hometown, girl.
Yeah, well.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Yeah, we don't need this.
Hey, you may claim them, but they sure as hell don't claim you.
No, you've been up here 30 years. Basically.
I'm a graduate of Baton Rouge Magnet High School, and I'm proud of it.
I guarantee you're not on the honorary wall, okay?
Well, I'm on a different wall there.
Yeah.
Okay, your joke in the 6 o'clock hour may have just been overridden for the promo. Mayor's qualifying wrapped up on Friday.
No real big surprises. Anna Arpino running again. She ran last time. No other big shockers.
So
to be
just
honest.
to review, with no disrespect to anybody, the big candidates are on the Democrat side. Incumbent Ollie Tyler, Mayor Ollie Tyler, Stephen Jackson, Cattle Commissioner Stephen Jackson, and Adrian Perkins, a political newcomer, if you will.
You bet.
On the Republican side, you have Crime Stoppers guy and former Shreveport police officer, right?
You
Jim
bet.
Talaferro.
And a political newcomer, Leo Savage.
As far as endorsements go right now, Savage has gotten this past week, you were on, it was Thursday.
I saw it.
Former Shreveport police detective Rod Demery gave Savage his endorsement. Meanwhile, on the Democrat side, interestingly, Shreveport City Councilman conservative Republican Oliver Jenkins has endorsed Democrat Adrian Perkins.
And we're waiting on getting a schedule in to get Greg Tarver in here. Let's see where he stands on this race.
He said no comments till after qualifying. You know what it's after?
It's time.
Qualifying. Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin. Here's Kim Commando.
As researchers continue to discover brain disorders are linked to mobile phone radiation, here's the latest, and it focuses on our kids. Kim Commando with your Monday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by SimpliSafe. Home security done right. SimpliSafe.com/Kim. We now have 2 studies, the latest one released last week, showing that kids ages 12 to 17 who use mobile phones close to their head are experiencing memory issues. Researchers followed hundreds of kids for a year, and they found that cumulative cell phone radiation exposure right next to the brain seems to have a negative effect on the development of what's called figural memory in adolescence. Figural memory takes place on the brain's right side in an area behind the ear. It's where we learn things for the short term and transfer it to our long-term memory. Now, as with all these studies, there is nothing yet conclusive, but there is enough here to caution our kids to keep their smartphones away from their ears as much as possible. I'm Kim Commando. Over the years, Epson has earned my trust, and you'll see what I mean when you experience the economical Epson EcoTank 4750. This is a fantastic wireless all-in-one printer, my printer of choice because it's cartridge-free and comes with up to 2 years of ink in the box, enough to print up to 11,000 color pages, equivalent to 30 ink cartridge sets. And when it's finally time for ink, you easily refill the printer's ink tanks in seconds. I print from any iPhone, iPad, Android tablet, or smartphone, or even through my Wi-Fi network. EcoTank is a compact, space-saving printer that's truly cartridge-free. It's available everywhere. More information at Epson.com/EcoTankKim. And for a limited time through July 31st, get free overnight shipping when you use the promo code EcoTankKim at checkout when you buy any EcoTank printer. That's Epson.com/EcoTankKim.
Offer valid within the 48 contiguous states. Exclusions apply, subject to availability.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. The heat will back off a little today, partly sunny, still hitting 100. And tonight will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be in the upper 90s. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.